So it is day 19, which means it's the 19th of December, and I am exhausted. I am not planning on sitting straight up. I really hope the microphone can pick all of this up. We're going to be talking about my time management skills today while we make a beer soap, and I'll tell you more about that and why I selected that topic in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 19 of 31 days of Soapmas, and as I said, I'm tired. And we're talking about time management skills. Now, first up, I don't really recommend you following most of my time management skills because I am one of those people who never stops. I don't stop. I love working. I love having a lot of things going on at any given time. I am reasonably proficient at multitasking or just dealing with the fact that 17 things have to be done in this next hour. Find a way to do them. But we're going to talk a little bit about time management and some tips that you can take with you into the new year to really organize your soaping journey. And we're going to exclude all of the other things. So, all of the video edits, all of the children things, all of the volunteerism, all of the actual running of the other sides of my soapy business, all of the being a spouse thing, all of the building a house thing. Hey, that rhymed. All of those things, and just focus on what I do to keep my soapy things structured every single day. So let's get to the pouring portion of all of this. I will be making a beer soap. It's going to be awesome, and we're going to chit chat about all those things. Okay, so figuring out how to actually manage your time wisely when you were doing a million and two different things, all kinds of different products, the need to order different materials, the need to get things up on your website, and then, have other jobs outside of the soap making world, which a lot of people do, other responsibilities and whatnot. I have found the best way to do this is using a whole lot of lists and sticking to a pretty strict schedule. And so I'm basically going to just use the Soap Apprentices and their schedules as an example for time management for all of this, because I do have help, and everything else that I'm involved in is a lot and probably not really super necessary for this particular video. So every single Sunday, as I said, lists, but it all starts out with every single Sunday where I am starting where I'm treating the soap shop much like I treat my house. And so that is when it gets a full refresh. The soap shop gets all of the inventoried as far as our materials and our actual stock of all the products. We give everything a deep clean. We restock all of our different oils and butters and the containers that we use. We make sure that we are not out of the things that we're going to need in the next week. We make a running list of all of the things that we need to order, get that ordered, and we also make a list of everything that everyone is going to be making for the day. So Sunday is very much our prep day. Preparation is absolutely key when you are doing a million different things and you have limited time to actually make your soaps. So with that, we have a list for the week that we have now built because of all of the inventorying and looking at our master list, which is a list of stuff that continues to change throughout the year based on the promotions that we're running, the events that we're doing for certain months, all of the different classes that we are teaching, as well as the inventory and the stock on the website and how that is changing, etc. and so forth. So based on that list, we can tell every week what absolutely has to be done, be it because we need to replenish inventory for bath bombs, or because we need to get soaps made to start curing before, they're launching in February or whatever. And so from that list, let's say I have 20 soaps in a week that I have given to the soap apprentices to make, and I have 4 soap apprentices, and at any given time they work. There's a soap apprentice there working for 4 hours a day, 1 or 2 soap apprentices working for 4 hours a day. So come Monday, where they're going to look at the soaps that they have, and they're going to determine the best course of action to make all of their soaps. And so we then equally divide those soaps in as far as complexity between all 4 of them. And then they have a nice time management thing going on, because they know that they need to get these soaps done, plus, inventorying or putting new stock up on the shelves, or maybe teaching a class, which we never do on Mondays. They're basically are going to be our soap days, because soaps need to get to the cure rack as quickly as possible. And that then gives them an ability to put everything together and get all of their materials out to make sure that they are ready to go with all of that, and have their lye solutions prepared on Sunday to get ready for Monday. And so they all have their own stations. All of their stuff is out. All of their molds are ready to go. And then Monday comes along and they do that. And the 4 hours is spent making their soaps and getting them put to bed and cleaning up all of their materials from the soaps and going on. Now, on Tuesday, obviously, we spend some time doing a cut, but because cuts don't take a lot of time, we then move on to the other stuff that needs to get done that has a faster turnaround. And so we are talking about bath bombs and lotion bars and your sugar scrubs and your lip balms, anything else that, again, doesn't take a lot of time to actually put together or, accomplish, but does need to be done. So that's usually what our Tuesday is focused on, is all of the others that need to be done for the week. And then those are set up overnight to, do their cure thing. You get it? Now for Wednesdays for the soap apprentices, that is going to be, since we've already spent some time cutting on Tuesday, Wednesdays they then spend wrapping and labeling all of the products that they made the day before. So bath bombs, lotion bars, all the things, as well as stamping the soaps that they made on Monday and cut on Tuesday. Those then go back into the cure rack, and the bath bombs and whatnot all go into their respective places, be it for inventory, so it needs to, go on the shelves, or into a section to get ready for it's being packaged for, subscription boxes, or for an upcoming promotion or, seasonal item thing that we're doing. And that all gets put away there. Now, for the rest of the week, in reality, the soap apprentices are then working on mostly classes, because the rest of the week is spent doing more work. It's doing work, well, it's all work, I suppose, but doing more work with me specifically. So they are either teaching classes or shadowing me while I teach classes, or learning new techniques and new, tools with me specifically. And so in reality, they get the bulk of their making done Monday through Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday is learning, education, growth, and, teaching all that stuff to others. And then we start it all over again. You have to look at it when you have a business like this. I always think that the best thing that you can do is, again, lots and lots of lists, because that's going to help you with, stay on track with everything. But tackling these things in the finite amount of time that you have. I know how long it takes me to make this beer soap that I'm making right now. It takes me under 15 minutes, whether I'm making one batch here or, I'm filling all of my molds with this. It's 15 minutes. And so I know that I can bust out 4 beer soaps in just over an hour, 4 different types of beer soaps in just over an hour, if that's what I'm focusing on. But to more complicated pours, that takes a lot longer. And so I have to carve out enough time to get like a multi-layered, a really complicated pour down that will take a lot longer than beer soaps. And so with that, I have to be cognizant of that, and I have to be aware of all of the different times that things will take, and, give myself a break. If I end up only making like three different types of soaps in a day for some crazy reason because they were wildly overly complicated pours. And that's a really big key to all of this too. Lists exist, but it's very rare that we actually ever get through our lists. This is a list of the things that we want to do, and they're all structured out in a way of these have to be done. If we have time, we would like to get to this other thing. And a lot of the times things are just lost and they're not as important. You know, thinking of like social media or doing extra interesting edits on a video or creating shorts out of a video that exists or all of those things, because a lot of the times those things are going to take well, a back seat to other things that must be done. The soap must be made, the bath bombs must be made, the everything must be labeled, and we love to do all those things in groups. So label everything together, label, you know, make all the bath bombs together, make all the lotion bars together, so you don't have a whole mess of different types of products out at the same time, different materials out to make all these different like disparate products. And then when you hit the end of your day and you've cleaned everything up, if you haven't had time to, you know, do the extra social media stuff, then you haven't had time. And we actually experience that quite a lot. And that's okay. We do not beat ourselves up at the end of the day because we haven't gotten through our entire list. We just go, well, it's cool. We had a pretty great day, and I'm not mad at that. And move on with, you know, our lives really and continue hustling. So time management, my biggest tip after all the years of doing this, is really, really going to be a list. It's going to be helpful if you have employees so they know what they need to be focusing on so they're not coming to work, you know, unprepared. Prep work in the very beginning, making sure that you have all of your lye solutions ready to go the day before so you can just walk into the soap shop and make the thing that you're going to make. And some of us don't really have that luxury. I super get it. But for those of us that do, that can make their lye solutions in advance, have it in a safe space, have all of your oils and everything weighed out, ready to go. So when you come into your soap space, the only thing that you have to do is make your soap is great. It's going to help with the feeling of chaos and all the jazz a whole lot more than what I've experienced in the past when you just sort of you're putting everything together on the fly. Like, right, I know I need to make the beer soap today, but I don't have the oils out. I don't have the clay out. I don't have the exfoliant out. I have not measured out my scent, etc., and so forth. And that takes time and it feels really chaotic. I have never stepped foot into the soap shop without knowing exactly what it is I am there to make or do. Not once, not ever. And I highly, if you're not going to measure out all of your oils and ingredients and everything the day before and get everything prepped and ready to go, that's fine. But do have a list of what it is that you're going to be making when you walk into your soaping space. I think it really helps out with the headspace, really helps out with all of the chaos, all of the anxiety that you could be facing when you are working with this, because we are busy. We have a lot going on. Most soap makers wear a whole bunch of different hats outside of the soap business itself. But if you're just doing the soap business itself, yeah, there's a lot of hats that are worn there. It's because it's marketing, it's website development, it's all of the it's sales, it's the making, it's the naming of the products, it's all of those things. Chunking them out into lists that are manageable and tackling all of one thing at the same time. So on this day, I'm going to name all the products that I just made this week. On this day, I'm going to photograph all the products that I made this week. Really helps out instead of just doing it one by one. So I'm not going to take this beer soap and then stamp it and then label it and then photograph it and then write the copy on it and then move on to my next soap. It doesn't make sense. That's not logical. Being better with actually chunking things out into pieces where you're doing the same thing to 12 different products makes the whole thing much more streamlined. But you're not going to know that until you start messing with your lists. So yeah, I'm a list person. I think that probably surprises no one, but there it is. That would be my biggest tip for time management in this crazy soapy world. And that is a beer soap. It is amazing. You are amazing. Thanks for listening. Okay, goodbye. Back to my face. And there it is, what a day in my soapy life looks like, and maybe some tips that you can bring with you into the new year. It comes as a surprise to probably no one. I love lists. I love lists. I cannot function in a day without my list. You know, that's just all there is to it. There's such a huge sense of accomplishment to be able to cross off each thing and then look at my list and go, hey, I did pretty okay today. Do I actually get through my task list that I set for myself every day? Very rarely, honestly. But do I still feel good about making the list and knowing that I am Of course I do. Absolutely. So that would be my biggest thing is, make your list, know what you are going to be doing the night before you get started the next day, and prepare yourself as much as possible the night prior so you know that you're going to have a big success. There it is, for sure. I really am super exhausted though. I'm going to go. I am going to have one more day. The kidlets have one more day in school, and then it is, I'm pulling them out a little bit early, and we are going to start our holiday awesomeness. So I'm going to go hang out with them and see what kind of things they want to do for their break. So, Sudsers, thank you for being here. You guys are everything. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys are getting some rest and some relaxation right now. That's definitely a needed, for sure. And you're allowing yourself to take some time off. This piece of paper is trying to slide off of my computer right now, and I don't want it to. So I'm casually trying to move it over, but I don't know if you can see my arm moving. Anyway, that's all staying in. Thank you. Again, Sudsers, you're everything. I'm out of here. I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of 31 Days of Soapmas Soapy Fun. Bye.
Billy wants a storybook. One she'd have